There's an agenda behind education to get us to become a part of the cog. We're one of the cogs in the machine. And everything that we're doing with our children is we're taking the system of the world and we're overlaying it on top of what we call homeschooling. Even though we've moved out from under, we're still taking all of the stuff that's dysfunctional, almost 100% of it. It's fine that you nail your 95 Theses on the wall and you left the Catholic Church, but 50 years later, the Methodists look just like the Catholics. They didn't actually consider that there were 195 theses that they needed to remove, and remove everything from the foundation on the way up. And so education needs to be rethought. We need to think about what is our ultimate goal, not their goal. Take a whiteboard, wipe it clean, and say, what is the ultimate goal in raising our children? And we add education into that. Education isn't the ultimate goal. We figure out what is the ultimate goal of our kids. And when we do that, and then we figure out how does education fit the ultimate goal instead of the other way around. We're trying to get our kids to fit a model given to us. We have handed to us. We're taking our kids and trying to squeeze them into something that was told to us. This is the way we're supposed to educate our kids. Most of you know the problem. Most adults, and I talk to guys worth hundreds of millions of dollars, run corporate Fortune 500 companies. I talk to these guys all the time. The average adult, even the big guys, the guys who are making millions of dollars, can't pass a 5th grade test. They don't know the math and the history and the science and the stuff that we're jamming into their heads. They forget and don't use ever. It's a waste of time. So we're frustrating ourselves and them, giving them stuff that they're not going to remember, they're never going to use, and it's actually counterproductive to true thought and education, because we're taking their passion away from them. True education is based on this one thing: wonder, amazement, discovery. That is the core that we're trying to get our kids to find something that they're passionate about, find that thing that they wonder about, that they're passionate about, that they want to take on. They need ownership, because if they don't have ownership, they belong to somebody else. Their mind and their thought and their patterns and their ideas are somebody else's. We have to give them ownership of thought. We have to give them, and they don't have it. They're not allowed to think. You're not allowed to think in church. You're not allowed to think in corporate America. You're not allowed to think at the job. You're just not allowed to think. You take what we tell you, and we cookie cutter into a certain position, and we remove wonder.